It is win or go home time here in Alliance, Ohio. It's an exact replica of last season. Marlington, the home team, Louisville, the away team. This is the District Semifinals on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation! We will see you on Saturday afternoon! Riley Meister gets the point!
Back into left field! Say goodnight to that baseball!
This is another one! It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas! He's the point, and it's alive! Hanson pushes it over! Unbelievable! We play on! It's blocked! We're tied! We're tied! Unbelievable! Live from the Marlington Soccer Complex in Alliance, Ohio, this is OHSAA District Semifinal Soccer on the SmeeSports YouTube channel in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Good evening, everybody. I am Nathan Smee. Alongside me on the call tonight, Josh Tovar, class of 2022 Marlington, member of Channel 1022, a Mount Union student, and a protege of head coach Clayton Cowgill. Josh Tovar, how are we feeling tonight as you get to see your alma mater play in a crucial district semifinal?
From when I was attending Marlington, we didn't get that far personally. And we're playing against Louisville. Always a great showing from the both teams. Both teams really want to win. Every single game is always electric. So I'm excited to see what happens.
And these guys have played each other already this season back in the middle of September. 0-0 the score in there, and historically, this is a matchup dominated by Marlington. How do they set the tempo tonight at their home for the final time this season to make sure they get back to winning ways?
Go out, high intensity, drop a goal first 10 minutes. That's going to set the tone, but I don't know if they're going to do that. 0-0 from last game. Scoreless from both ends. It's going to be hard.
And then before we send it down to the PA announcer, what does Louisville have to do? Obviously, you do know a little bit about their star player, Carter Burton, as he is one heck of a player, 15 goals already this season. Is it basically his responsibility tonight, or are there other guys that can step up?
I wouldn't say so. Soccer's a team sport. If they're relying on one person, they're doing it wrong. And I know Marlington has eyes on him. Make sure they clamp him up. So we'll see what happens.
And with that, we'll toss things to our in-house public address announcer, and he will get us underway with our team introductions, along with the national anthem and our starters.
Meet the coaches and players of tonight's game for the Louisville High School. Head coach is Jared Como, with assistant coaches Mark Dillon, George Rosh, and Jacob Jones. Players: Mason Ivy, sophomore; Michael Woods, senior; Parker Dom, sophomore; Braden Shadle, junior; Noah Papaya, junior; Drew Lindner, junior; Mason Overkaiser, freshman; Alazar McBride, junior; Dominic Collier, sophomore; Ian McBride, junior; Brennan Schwab, junior. And your starters: Maddox Maley, sophomore; Maddox Rodriguez, junior; Colton Kress, junior; Raiden Linder, senior; Jax Linder, junior; Carla Burton, senior; Kale Linder, junior; Carla Busby, junior; Brandon Sanders, sophomore; Eben Swope, sophomore; Justin Keisler, junior. And now for your Marlington Dukes. Head coach Clayton Cowgill, with assistant coaches Alex McDaniel, Quentin Motice, and Mackenzie Laurie. Players: Drew Wood, junior; Tony Stanilla, junior; Zach Pitts, senior; Colin Riley, freshman; Zach Frederick, freshman; Armani Stanella, junior. Deegan Cowden, sophomore. Tyler Klossner, freshman. TJ Guest, senior. Bowen Coleman, senior. Tegan Hoffman, freshman. Braxton Gill, senior. Jonah Kaiser, junior. Marcos Ramos, junior. And your starters, Brock Swisher, junior. Talon Siders, junior. Riley Shannon, junior. Tommy Miller, junior. Aiden Tate, junior. Turner Hoffman, junior. Andy Hartzler, senior. Logan Smith, sophomore. Andrew Frederick, junior. And your captains, Caleb Schumacher, junior. And Max Nichols, senior. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and join us as we honor America and those who serve to protect it with the playing of the national anthem.
Once again, good evening from the Marlington Soccer Complex in Alliance, Ohio. This is OHSAA Boys Soccer on the SmeeSports YouTube channel in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. It is the district semifinals tonight as the number 9 seed Marlington Dukes welcome in the number 19 seed Louisville Leopards. I am Nathan Smee, alongside me Josh Tovar on the call this evening. We've talked about the matchup. We've talked about what both teams need to do to win tonight. But we haven't talked about the emotional side of this matchup, Josh. One set of seniors playing their final ever game of soccer tonight, and that, I'm sure, is a chip on their shoulder.
For sure. Could be anyone's final game from both teams, so I'm sure it's going to be a fight. No one wants their season to end.
In last year's playoff meeting between these two teams, Marlington scored the lone goal of the game in the second half. Carter Burton did have a chance to tie it up as time expired, but a free kick just sailed over the bar. And I mean just sailed over, I mean matter of inches. And you can just tell after that game, so distraught, he has built off of it this season, 15 goals, 9 assists. You talk about a star player. He embodies that for these Louisville Leopards. Time locally here in Alliance, Ohio is 6:59, 1 minute before our starting kick. And it all comes down to this in the playoffs. One team advances to the district championship game. The other, they will be done, and they will begin preparations for 2026. And we are off to the races here at the Marlington Soccer Complex. Marlington with the opening kickoff, and immediately they get numbers forward as expected. I think this is going to be a very aggressive start and just overall game for them tonight, and it has to be. Changing fields to the near side, Tommy Miller. Good turn inside, 2 goals, 1 assist so far on the year for him. Smith pokes it on back. Good movement. It's Tate. Shannon heading it inside the 18-yard box, trying to get Frederick on the end of it. But there is Keister, the star goalkeeper of Louisville, with the easy save. Justin Keister is the player to watch tonight for Louisville outside of Carter Burton. And speaking of Burton, he has played in here. And this one will roll just to Brock Swisher. Brock Swisher, one of the best goalkeepers in the area. 5 EBC games this year, Josh. 5 clean sheets. 0 goals allowed in conference play. And here's an early chance for the Marlington Dukes, played on. But the grass the culprit there as the ball bounces right back, and the Dukes will have to try it again. But a very good idea early on in this game to try and break open this defense. And now a toss-up on the far side as it rolls out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Marlington Dukes. Marlington entering play tonight 13-1-4, and that only loss was to a very talented Warren Howland squad. Frederick poking that one just to the edge of the 18-yard box before spraying it to the top. Shannon fighting for it. Frederick gets a poke on it, immediately deflected by a wall of Leopards. And here is the clearance. Cole Lindner able to get this one out of the area, and the Leopards will try and spark the counter. But good defense prevents any damage. Schumacher there to deny. And I think this is going to be what we're going to see the entire night. Both teams get plenty of good chances in principle, but at the end of the chance, it's just going to be a basic loss of possession. And we're seeing it already on display. And now just 2 minutes in, both squads looking dangerous, and here is a good ball over the top. Maybe the most dangerous ball of the night. Louisville nearly in, but good defense gets rid of the danger. I believe that was one of the two captains, Caleb Schumacher, on the far side. And immediately here comes a counter from the Marlington Dukes. A high-paced game to get things underway in the district semifinals. Loose ball onto Shannon just inside the 18-yard box. Frederick awaiting a potential pass as Shannon takes it to the touchline. And that one too far out in front, and it'll roll out of play for a Keister goal kick. Josh, your thoughts so far on this high-flying start? I feel like we've had 20 minutes of action offensively in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Marlington off to a great start getting the ball up near their box. Had a few crosses in, just nothing near the net, unfortunately.
And I feel like, as we've said so far, this is just going to be how the game goes until one team finds the back of the net. Tommy Miller trying to be more physical, and that physicality is the first foul of the game. I felt like that was a clean play on the ball, but maybe too much on the foot after.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything until the foot.
And if that's going to be called, I think this is the kind of game the officials are going to play. No nonsense, nothing is going to be allowed. But I feel like at some point that's going to change, and they are just going to say, whatever happens goes. To an extent, of course. You can't just let anything happen in a playoff game, but you have to, at least to an extent, let these players play. And I think they will tonight. Smith trying to break that one in, denied. Tate shoved from behind, and that is a clear foul. That time it is Raiden Lindner, the senior. Well, I don't think there was any doubt there.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of pushed him in the back. Yeah, here we go. Marlington free kick.
And Marlington, they love themselves a set-piece goal this season. They have been dangerous as ever. Maybe the best team from set pieces in the EBC and Stark County. They've scored their fair share of goals from outside the 18-yard box. This time a low-driven shot denied by the wall. Tate, he is their main goal scorer from outside the box as he had a worldie against Alliance in the backyard brawl. That time denied by a strong wall built by the Leopards. And Louisville will try and clear their area, but it goes right back to the Dukes. Another chance for Marlington to strike first. Ball poked to the outside of the 18-yard box, and Maddox Rodriguez will see this one to safety on the far flank. And immediately a ball over the top for the Leopards. Schumacher there to defend, and he needs an escape route. And he is able to get through two, but not through three. The Leopards still with possession and a chance to build their first true attack inside the 18-yard box tonight outside of a wayward pass or two. Good strong pass back to Rodriguez on the wing. And now it is Kress having to see the danger away as Frederick does bring the press, and it'll go out of play for a Marlington throw on the far side. Marlington looking like the better offensive team so far, but the aggression from both teams has been a treat so far.
Yeah, Marlington winning the ball really quickly once they lose it, and they're just playing these passes through the midfield and getting it wide and putting crosses in. I mean, they're getting a lot of opportunities here.
And the offense is afforded a lot of leeway in pretty much any game this season. When you only allow 9 goals, you can really wait until the last minute to score. Brock Swisher, once again, though, truly the best goalkeeper in the EBC. And so far through 18 games, he's averaging allowing a goal every other. I feel like that is an out-of-this-world stat, especially given the teams that Marlington have played this season. Strong clearance for the time being, picked up by Smith, a sophomore, but won back by Cole Lindner, the junior for Louisville. It's Andy Frederick outside the 18-yard box, trying to battle in. Ball poked towards Shannon to convene. Keister, he is loose, and it will roll back to Nichols, and he puts Marlington on the board.
Just the pressure. It's just the pressure. Goalkeeper fumbles it. Hold on.
And now they're arguing. Let's watch it back on a replay. And I think they will count it, but let's see what they wanted called here. I think it was that challenge from Frederick.
I don't know. They might call it offside right there.
That's what I was going to say. It just rolled right past Keister. And now it looks like the Leopards want an explanation here. Coach Como not too pleased on the far side, but still composed as he has really a good head on his shoulders and has all season. But it's a tough start here for the Louisville Leopards. As 34:02 left to go in the first half. It's Marlington on top 1-0. And you talked about it in pregame. Scoring in the first 10 minutes is exactly what Marlington needed to do to set the tempo.
Yeah, I mean, purely a defensive error. I mean, give it to Marlington for the constant pressure on their back line. That was just, the ball was bobbling around, tap in, easy.
Maxwell Nichols, a tremendous senior campaign, now 11 goals on the year. And just 6 minutes in, after 80 scoreless last time these two teams met, it is Marlington on the board. And now they really have to wonder, okay, could they have turned that draw into a win based on how they've started this match?
Doesn't matter anymore, especially since this is what counts, getting to the next game.
And they want to make it back to that district championship game. No Lake Catholic in their way this year, and that was a big thing last year. If it wasn't Lake Catholic, I think they had a better shot to get through. This time it's either number 4 Hawken or number 13 Kent Roosevelt. I would say two beatable teams for the Marlington Dukes. And that'll be a foul called on Marlington. And we go back to the notion of almost everything being called so far tonight, except for the goal. But going back to it, do you think that one should have stood?
That goal?
Yeah.
For sure. I didn't. That was clean. I mean, the challenge beforehand, that was a clean challenge. I didn't see an offside from up here. Just like I said, Louisville's defensive mistake. Marlington capitalized.
And I would have to agree. I mean, I think we're going to look back at that footage and really dissect it after this game, especially if that is our only goal tonight. But as things stand, Louisville, they need to get an equalizer, maybe earlier than they thought they would. It's Nichols on the far side, the goal scorer tonight for the Dukes. Beautiful ball in again, but too close to Keister. And Keister against Alliance, he allowed the goal at the end of the first half on the penalty to D'Angelo Fisk, but that was the wake-up call. After that, he was good. A beautiful ball over the top, a chance for the Leopards, but mistimed. I believe that was the freshman Overcaster trying to bring that one down. Just mistouched it. And I feel like in a game like this, having a freshman up there, it's good experience, but he has to be clinical. And here comes a substitution as Carter Burton will sub back in for the Leopards. We talked about his impact on the game. He really has to be that guy now for the Leopards, even more than we thought before this match started, and that is a scary prospect for the Leopards.
I mean, I just imagine how Carter's feeling right now. Senior, he knows he's the best on the team. I mean, that's got to be a lot of pressure for him.
And going back to last year, it is hard to forget about what happened at the end of that game, just so close to getting that goal. And I think we talked about it for a few moments after that broadcast was done of, okay, he got robbed of potentially the greatest moment of his career, and okay, Louisville is going to be back. Those were the two big takeaways, and we obviously knew that Carter Burton would be a big part of this team. But the great comeback from Louisville, that is what we look at this season. They were 4-6 at one point, now 8-7-2. A very good rally at the second half of the season. And they needed that, and they really started it against Alliance. And they're going to call that one a foul. Hands went up immediately. That could be a clear sign of guilt, but I didn't see enough power on the challenge there to warrant a free kick here. But that is obviously not our call. We're on the 10-minute mark of this first half, and a chance for a Marlington brace. They will take the shot. It's Aiden Tate, and saved by Keister.
He had some good power on that.
Aiden Tate is a set-piece specialist for the Marlington Dukes. He is truly a special talent. I feel like you put him up there in that same conversation with a Carter Burton. Two players who play the game in slightly different ways, but the energy they bring, it's both equally impressive. And there is Brock Swisher getting involved earlier than usual. And tonight, on top of his usual prowess, he has the shiesty on.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly out there.
It is getting cold, and that's the first time this season we've seen a soccer player wear one.
Really?
Haven't seen it at all yet.
I mean, you get deeper into the playoff games, it's going to get colder. So he had to break it out for tonight.
You got to bring in the random factoids like that. Come on.
That is a nice factoid.
And if they win, he's 1-0 in a shiesty. Now that's one that you put on the gram.
He might never wash it after tonight.
Well, I mean, once again, you look at that district final, a winnable game. It might be the good luck charm of the team. But I feel like they don't really need a good luck charm. They just have the talent that propels them through. And I mean, before tonight, they were at one point one of the top 70 teams in the state, now down to 72. But you say down to 72 in the whole state of Ohio, and that really doesn't say much based on that drop. It just shows how talented they are, especially as a lower division school. Marlington, not the biggest school, same with Louisville, but both communities with equal love for their athletic contests and their athletic teams. And I know Louisville football, they have a big game tomorrow night at home against Worcester. I believe it's at home against Worcester. They got to win it to make the playoffs and then need some help after that. So best of luck to the Leopards. Marlington, their season done tomorrow as they host Alliance. And Talon Siders, number 3 for Marlington. He will play on that game as the kicker. Good interception by the Leopards, and there is the clearance. Sanders dispossessed from behind. Lidner playing it up the pitch. Numbers getting forward for the Leopards. Once again, ball over the top, and once again, it'll settle with Brock Swisher. And Coach Como, not too happy down below. And I feel like with many reasons not to be so far. And we'll talk more at halftime about the calls depending on how things switch. But so far, very interesting. And this is going to be a foul, I think, on Marlington. And that is the decision.
Bit of extension on the arm there.
And I think, quite frankly, just looking at how things have gone, Marlington's just trying to draw the contact to get more fouls. And that's not a bad thing. You push the pressure, you add some tempo, you need a little help, you take it. And we did get some clarification down below from Bryce. The mid-judge said the goalie never had true control, so it was clean. So the argument was if he had possession, and if he did, that's a foul for going after the ball in his grasp. Here is the chance, and it is going to go wide of Keister. But very close to the brace for Marlington.
That's a corner.
Just a slight deflection somewhere in there. And we go back to the set pieces. They love them. And when you have so much success from them in a season, there is really no harm or foul in really relying on them to get a big bump. 27-20 left to play in the first half. Marlington up 1-0 courtesy of Nichols. Back post, headed away. Siders the closest for the Dukes. He will keep it in the vicinity, and they will try and work it from the far wing now. And that pass changing fields will go to number 9, Tommy Miller. Miller to the wing, Aiden Tate, and he will be dispossessed. And they will let this one go to the touchline. Tate, he will slide, and it'll go out of play for a Louisville throw-in. And the chippiness now is really starting.
I saw a bit of a push there.
At first, it was just playoff physicality. This is chippiness now. Shannon trying to break through the defense, but Louisville, they are going to be a brick wall as much as they can be. And you go back to the one goal. They were a wall until somehow Marlington found that one touch that broke through. I mean, without that one touch when Keister was trying to get possession, we're still tied. And I think the adjustment made by Louisville has been more conservative than anything. They had better chances in the opening 5 minutes in a tie game than now. And I think a lot of that is devoting resources to keeping the defense intact. Which, to obviously an extent, that is a necessity as that one goes out of play for a goal kick. But I wouldn't really hate to see them continue devoting a lot of resources forward, as now they will, in retrospect, flip it to a corner.
Corner kick, Marlington. Sub for Marlington.
And here comes a substitution for the Dukes as TJ Guest will sub in. And he will replace the big striker, Andrew Frederick. Definitely a cold game tonight at the Marlington Soccer Complex. For the most part, a lot of blankets and beanies on the far side, but also we do have a mini pod over there for a fan as they try to stay warm amid these chilly October temperatures. But you look on that far side, so many fans out here tonight, and that says a lot about their support for these two teams. And you love to see it in the playoffs. Two great communities combining for a great night of soccer under the lights. Good ball played inside the 18-yard box. Nichols, a push on the shoulder. Loose ball inside the box. Marlington, they want a penalty. And I don't think they're going to get it. I think, if anything, the foul would have been on Nichols for that push. And we go back to that mentality of trying to draw fouls. I think we're starting to see it more and more.
I mean, I don't know if it's the mentality to draw fouls. I think it's just both teams are getting, especially Louisville, getting frustrated now after getting scored on within the first 6 minutes and not being able to break through their own half.
They got to keep this one within one at the half. That is the goal. And if they can tie it, then usually Marlington allows 2. It's either none or 2. Maybe a hand touch there, but it won't matter. Ball played to the edge of the 18-yard box. Burton, he will slip just outside the box, but right back up. And Louisville, they will try and keep this one close. It's Nichols on the far side, sending a defender to his feet, and it goes back to the Dukes. And the student section is loving it. Not often you do see a student section at a soccer game, but when you do, they are rowdy, and a lot of the time, they don't really know the rules, which makes it funny.
It is pretty funny.
I'm sure that was appreciated during your time as a Duke, albeit at the back end, COVID was the name of the game. 24 minutes to go in the first half. Once again, if you were just tuning in, the opening goal coming courtesy of Max Nichols in the opening 6 minutes. Now 11 goals on the year for him, 19 goal contributions. And this is his final home game as a Marlington Duke. As no matter what happens, they will be on the road for a district championship game, I believe at Mayfield High School on Saturday. Either way, it is going to be a 4 p.m. kickoff wherever it is. It's either there or Ravenna. They are not even close to each other, so don't even ask where the correlation is there. Good interception on the near side by the Leopards as they try to spur on their offense. They just need a couple of touches to go their way. And as well for those just tuning in, Louisville attacking to the left side, Marlington the right. Good header outside the box, taken in by Miller. And Miller dispossessed, and a chance here for a cross. It's Maley. Maley deflected away by Schumacher, and that is going to become a throw-in for the Leopards. I mean, Caleb Shoemaker as a captain, he has been the leader of this defense tonight. Wherever the ball is for the Leopards, number 5 for Marlington right there to match it. Ball thrown inside the 6-yard box. Swisher potentially punching that one. At least attempted. Got caught off balance. But the rest of his defense able to help him out. And here comes a strong counterattack for the Marlington Dukes. Good strong touch on by TJ Gass. But dispossessed in the end. And Louisville will try and clear this one up the wing. But in the end, losing it right back to Shannon and the Marlington Dukes. And Marlington right back at it with a counterattack of their own. Ball played inside the 18-yard box, right to the middle. Keister right there as a flying Duke goes right past him. Don't know what happened there, but just saw a orange jersey fly right by behind. Kind of looked like that freeze frame of Thursday Night Football a couple of years ago, that defender diving in the end zone when it was singled in, I believe, on Andy Dalton. I think you know the clip I'm talking about.
Not a big football guy.
Let's look at that one later. Good ball played in. Swisher once again meets it. I don't want to call Brock a sweeper keeper because he's not really using his feet, but he has the mentality of one. Getting off of that line, not afraid to use the whole entire box, and on some occasions, he does leave the 18-yard box. But I agree, I don't think you would give him that true tag unless we see him use his feet more often.
No, but it's great that he's confident to get off of that that goal line.
And once again, okay, first of all, that was a handball, and he knew it, but still, only 9 goals allowed in the year. A top talent for a reason. Doesn't matter if he uses his feet or not. And here comes the counterattack. It's Tate taking the top off, going towards Shannon by the corner flag. A lot of hustle by the Leopards to get back to defend this one. And they will get it. A strong challenge, but one reciprocated. Shannon still fighting for it, and that one will go to the Monsters in the Woods. And that is the interesting thing about the location of this field. Right behind us in the press box, it is just a forest. Wouldn't want to go in there at night. Glad we don't have to. Good challenge here, and it is going to be a foul on Marlington. Really didn't see that. I just thought that was a clean challenge by Louisville, and they will get a counter out of it. Can Louisville, around the halfway point of the opening 40, get on the board? Burton Pokes it out to the wing. A long ball out there trying to pick up Busby. And that'll be sent flying towards the fans. Great seating right on the far side. But you're putting yourself at risk a lot. And here comes the rain. We did expect at least a little bit of rain tonight. And, well, here it is. Right at the halfway point of this first half, this could be a changing factor. Header almost gonna beat Swisher, but you gotta do a little bit more to take down Brock. But a good idea there by Sanders, the sophomore. That was perfectly headed. That could have been the chance so far. Shannon played in and picked up by the goalkeeper, Keister. But for those just tuning in, it's cold and now raining on a grass field. Josh, I'm sure you've played on this field in the grass with the rain. How does that mesh?
It's ball slippery, field slippery, low-driven balls. I mean, the field's bumpy itself already, so it was already difficult to play on it beforehand, and I would say it's 10 times worse.
And at this point in the playoffs, both teams do have experience in the rain, but Louisville, a team that plays at their football field, which is turf. Marlington, I really do feel like now has the upper hand. But how many times have they truly played in the rain here this season? And I think the answer is not many. Now the whistle will blow again, and I think they're going to make them redo the kick just further back. But your thoughts so far in the opening 20?
I mean, very good. We're seeing a lot of good play from Marlington here. Just the constant pressure, and they didn't drop off after the first goal. They want more. They're clearly hungry. Louisville barely getting up the field. I mean, getting dispossessed at the top of the box constantly. It's just they need to find more chances, play the ball around more, knock the ball around, break down the defense, and get in.
And that's knocking the ball around right there. A strong slide tackle out of play for a throw-in for the Leopards. But I love that mentality. This could be it. They want to play on to the district championship game on Saturday. You have to bring every bit of effort possible, and there it is on display. Loose ball inside the 18-yard box, taken in by Lidner. Played on back, Louisville trying to get their way through. And Marlington able to clear their lines and get this one up the far flank and out of play. It'll go out for a Louisville throw-in. Louisville down 1-0 in this game early, but this is still a game that they can easily come back and flip the script just like they did against Alliance earlier on this season. But Marlington's pressure, you have to think maybe enough to get them that 2-0 lead. If not, give them back the lead if Louisville does equalize. Good strong challenge. It's Riley Shannon inside the 18-yard box. He will slip, somehow stays on his feet, pokes it to the center. Ball now loose. Shannon gets a piece of it, and there is the clearance by the Leopards. But excellent composure on that play by Shannon. I don't know how he stayed with it so good. But still a danger. Shannon played in by Tate. And here comes the whistle, and it'll go in favor of the Leopards. And I think Marlington wants some answers as to what that call was.
I couldn't tell you. I thought that was clean. Got his body in front of the Leopard defender and got possession. I don't really see how that was a foul. But we don't make the decisions.
Andy Frederick down below, I think, just based on his reaction, he had something else in mind. No surprise at all, as that was just one of the phantom calls that we have seen so far today. But 16:40 left to play in the first half. Marlington still a clear danger to the Leopard defense. But Louisville, not too far off, I would say, from their opening goal if they are to get it. But Marlington gets a big boost here, a free kick just outside the center circle. And we go back to that range that they have. This is the ball that they can play to the edge of that 6-yard box. Melee range against Keister. 1-on-1, and we've seen him today. 0 for 1 in those instances. And that is a key stat to look at for him. It wasn't a mistake. It was just Marlington did more in that microcosm of the game. And it's a beautiful ball played inside the 18-yard box from around the center circle. Marlington still with possession now, trying to reset outside the box. And here comes their chance, played to the end line, whipped in favor of Nichols, but Keister cuts off the passing lane just in time. That was a beautiful ball. If Nichols got on the end of it, it's 2-0 right now. And yet again, a good strong clearance by Marlington. Their defense, no nonsense for the remainder of the game. They want to be clean. They want to be pure. They don't want to give any questions or any hope for the Louisville fans. And if they can just continue playing this way, somewhat controlling possession and counterattacking when needed. This win is theirs. Shannon, a beautiful flick on a strong challenge. Ball is loose. Keister commits, and there is the brace for the Marlington Dukes. It is Tommy Miller getting it in. What a team goal by the Marlington Dukes. That's how you do it. Well, watch this one back on the replay. But Keister, he did the right thing. He had to commit there. But once again, you bring him one-on-one. He's beaten. Wow.
Can we talk about that touch?
Yes, we can. That was impressive work. This Marlington team, well-coached and a well-oiled machine. And you go back to the game in September, this was a draw the first time they played this season. Now it's 2-0 in the playoffs. And that already surpasses the goals tally from last season in this same exact game. Same exact place. Louisville, they're wasting no more time. Burton trying to dribble through the whole defense. And a chance here. It would have been a goal, but the flag does go up. And that will deny Maley goal number 10 on the season.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove. Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
And there's another one. It's back to back. Jags for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point. And it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
And here comes a yellow card to Coach Como. Dissent. And I think the ref thought a comment made by number 15 Sanders was directed at him. And I think Louisville does have a reason to be upset here.
I mean, getting chippy, talking to players on the field, it happens. But head coach got to keep the composure. I mean, he leads the team on the bench, so seeing your coach getting yellow carded isn't the best sight as a player.
And now they only have 10, and here comes their 11th. What is going on? Once again, a lot of things have been happening tonight, and I think Louisville getting the wrong end of it, and not rightfully so by any means. I feel like Louisville has every right to be upset right now. There's only so much you can do, and when you're not allowed to bring in your sub there, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that was a little silly.
And in the playoffs, too. Everything matters more. Ball thrown in here. Frederick does a nice job just to stay on side for the throw, and nicely played in by Koman. And here comes a clearance for the Leopards. 14 minutes left to play in the first half. Marlington up 2-0 on the Leopards. Nichols and Miller with the goals for the Dukes. Frederick just outside the 6-yard box. Marlington wants a pen. They won't get it. And the Leopards are able to clear their lines. And here comes a big counterattack. Burton flicks it on through. A good touch. Burton trying to get re-involved in the offense. Maley on the wing, poked away, and out for a Louisville throw-in. Josh, I think you had some chagrin there and thought that was a PK.
From my angle, it looked like it was.
And now Louisville trying to argue that that one was touched and out for a goal kick instead of, and I think Bryce down below is saying he saw the touch. That did kind of change path there a little bit. I thought that was touched. And we're seeing it's the inside of the leg.
Man, unfortunate.
We always say there's a lot to talk about at halftime, but I think even more today, there's more than we bargained for. And some of that is not in a good way. So we're going to have to look at things at half and really see what's going on down below. Louisville trying to get back in this game. They need one before half, and this could be their opportunity. Good give and go out to the wing. It's Carter Burton. Burton squaring it into the far side. Another good ball just off a shoulder. Loose ball. Brock Swisher picks it up right in front of Maley. And there comes the eruption from the student section again. Brock Swisher, he is not used to this much action in a game like this, but he's ready for it. You have a couple of big tests every season if you are Marlington. You look at those tests. Highland on the road was a big test. West Branch was a test. Alliance always a test. Couple of your draws, Revere, Poland, Louisville, Glen Oak, all tests, and same thing with Howland. He did pretty good in those tests. And you can even say field was a test, as that was a 3-2 thriller. Another good ball poked in, loose on the back post. And there is the clearance for the Marlington Dukes. Nicely done by Hartzler, the senior. Either way, this is the final home game in the careers of these Marlington seniors. They want one last big win here on their home grass. Louisville, no home playoff games in the playoffs. Their goal is to spoil the seniors' party at their home as long as they can. They did so against Salem 4-0 as the underdog. But I still think 19 way too low for these Leopards. No matter the result tonight, a great season for Louisville. We said it last year. I think they'll be back in the same exact game again.
I mean, it's always a brawl, Marlington, Louisville, especially when we get down into the playoff season. So
Louisville once again trying to break through. There is a whistle. I think that's going to be time. And there is a yellow card, and it's on the Dukes. I think that is Maxwell Nichols with the booking. Or no, that's going to be Talon Siders. So a big card on Marlington. Card number 3 of the first half. Wow.
first half, 3 cards, crazy work.
I understand it's the playoffs, but I feel like we should be playing a little bit more than this. I feel like a lot of things have been called that really shouldn't be so far, but here we are, Louisville trying to break in still with 11-10 to go in the first half, and here is their chance, a good low-driven shot, but denied before it gets inside the 6-yard box, played on back, and they will take it from range. Once again, deflected. Coleman heads it through, and the danger, at least for now, is taken care of, and Marlington will look to counter. It's Coleman on the near flank. Pokes it up the center, trying to get a Duke on the end of it. It is Nichols going for his brace, and that shot is off the side, and it is into the woods. And it'll be a goal kick for the Louisville Leopards.
Up for Louisville, Jack Linder.
For those just tuning in, once again, your score 2-0 in favor of Marlington. You have Miller with the second, Nichols with the first. A lot of chippiness, a lot of fouls, and 3 cards. Exactly how we drew this one up. Not at all. Not at all. And now we are at about the half-hour point in this game. Marlington's offense doing better than I think most expected. We expected them to be aggressive, but the clinicality, we expected that to come later on. And that time, Louisville just having to clear that one away, and that almost goes into the parking lot. There are a couple of parking lots on this campus. I mean, you have the agricultural parking lot, you have the main parking lot over there, you have the grass field, that's a parking lot, and then a couple of extra spots elsewhere. But a lot of parking on this campus and a lot of cars to potentially hit. If you're a fan, beware. Now, a couple of those parking lots you'd have to have a big leg to get even close to. I will say that. 9:35 left to play in the first half. Good cuts here by Miller. Plays it to the edge of the 18-yard box. Smith. And that'll come screaming towards the press box and out of play. Marlington controlling the tempo as they wanted to heading into this game. Last home game, most likely last one on grass this season. And we will see how they fare in the next couple of games, depending on how many more they play. I wouldn't be surprised if they do beat Hawken or Kent in the district championship game. If they get there, of course. Nothing's a guarantee right now. All Louisville really needs is to make this 2-2 through 80, and we play on. Maley on the near wing. Less than 9 to go in the first half. Cutting inside. Good swarming defense by the Leopards, or rather the Dukes. And there is the clearance by Shoemaker. But Marlington's pressure still impressive. I'm just really impressed with their ability to have so many numbers forward, but so many back on defense. They really rotate very well, and the midfielders doing a lot of work from deep in their own territory to all the way to the edge of the 18-yard box. And you look at that midfield battle, Marlington is dominating that, and that is why they are up right now. It's not the offense, it's not the defense, it's the midfield battle.
It's always the midfield. A lot of work off the ball, a lot of movement off the ball, a lot of movement defensively and attacking. When you have a midfield that moves up and down the field as a unit, you're going to win games.
And that's why they've won 13 already this campaign, looking to win number 14 here. And both sides are looking forward to halftime for very different reasons right now. And I feel like Marlington, they just want to continue as they're really feeling their stride right now. And I'm not truly surprised to see that. They have been really good at home. They have not lost on this field yet this season. Their only loss, I believe, was on the road at Howland. They're dominant here. They're perfect here. Just a couple of draws thrown in. Louisville able to clear their lines once again. Lindner taking it up the far wing. And the Leopards need some time to get everybody else forward. 7:20 left to play in the first half. Kale Lindner loses it from behind, intercepted by the Dukes, and they will clear it up the near wing. Good settle touch and play out to the flank. McBride, or rather that is Daum. A chance here for the Louisville Leopards nearing halftime to get back within one, but a strong clearance from Smith prevents them on that single play. But they will continue this possession as they will have a throw-in on the near side. A lot of offense early on in this game, but since then, not too much to talk about. And there is the strong clearance by the Marlington Dukes, reciprocated right back to the Leopards. If Louisville can find one gap in this Marlington defense, it's game on. And they did have one goal already waved off due to offside. And that was a killer when it happened. That would have immediately been a response to goal number 2. Lindner. Coleman picking it up, and the Dukes once again trying to build this attack. Shannon makes a defender miss. It's all orange getting forward, but intercepted just before picking up Nichols on the outside of the box on the far side. Louisville right back to it, but right back to the Dukes. Too heavy of a touch. And that's the issue of seeing too far out in front. You have to focus with ball at your feet, not ball to somebody else. And that's the thing that too many players have happen. They get too far-sighted in their strides, and they lose it from below. Whistle blows, and it is going to be a foul on Marlington. A lot of pressure there, and kind of surprised they did call it, but either way, the pressure just too much according to the official. And the Leopards still battling to try and get in. Good touch. Here is their best chance so far, and it's skied over the bar. That was Maley with the chance. But based on that touch inside, that beautiful curl, that could have been very dangerous if on target.
For sure.
But once again, Josh, the key word there, on target. And that's half the battle. Or really, I would say the entire battle. Now, 5 minutes before halftime, 2-0 your score. Goals from Nichols and Miller so far for the Marlington Dukes. And here is the kick from Swisher. Good touch there by Marlington, able to win it back. That is Miller, and the counter is on here. On the near side, Tommy Miller squares it to the top of the 18-yard box. Shannon now taking it back. Good pressure by the Leopards, and there is the foot on the back end of it, and that is going to be another free kick for Marlington. First challenge clean, second one not so much. And a pivotal point for Marlington. And before this free kick, obviously, we do welcome in our viewers rooting on Marlington and Louisville, but also if anybody is rooting for Honkin or Kent Roosevelt in their game and scouting here, we welcome them in as well. And a chance here for Marlington. Fakes the shot, maybe should have taken it, and the answer is yes. The Louisville Leopards able to defend nicely, and here comes their counter. But a nice touch out of play by Nichols, once again showing off why he is a captain.
Sub for Louisville, Carter Busby.
Definitely should have had that shot there. The fake, I think, was unnecessary, especially inside the box. Have a touch, let it rip.
And I would have to agree. But that is the big Achilles heel of so many strikers, that second guess at the wrong moments. And that changes the game from there. But Louisville still a chance to get on the board just before halftime, and if they do, look out for the second half. And they have the numbers forward here to make it happen. Busby to the top of the box, it's Burton, sends on back. And the Dukes are able to corral it once again. Smith up the pitch, trying to pick up Shannon. A good deflection away, but right back to the sophomore it goes. Marlington getting numbers forward. Riley Shannon squares it. Headed down by the Leopards, right to the Dukes. It's Aiden Tate. Out to the wing, Nichols. Nichols opened the scoring in the first 6 minutes for Marlington tonight. Does an excellent job to evade a couple of strong challenges by the Leopards. That time too much, loses it with a heavy touch, but gets it right back as the Leopards see it out of play. Great composure until just that last lunge really killed that attempt. But I will say Marlington coming as advertised, but the product even better than we expected in this first 40 minutes. Once again, I thought this was going to be a 1-0 game to whoever won it. I didn't think we'd see 2 goals tonight. But here we are in the first half already with them on the board, and they have been on the board for a good while now. And we are down to the final 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the opening 40. Shannon tries cutting it inside, but great defense by the Leopards. And there is the clearance into the trees by Jax Lidner. But right away the throw in, Marlington getting it back in the mix. It's Riley Shannon cutting inside the 18-yard box. Plays it down low, the flag will come up. Either way, it's saved by Keister. To make that save one-on-one like that, he needed one to fall in his favor tonight. He gets it. And it's one that didn't really matter either way. And sometimes that is the best one to get your confidence right where it needs to be. And Louisville, they try to build a counter, but Marlington, just one touch sends them right back to square one. That has been the theme tonight. Burton on the near wing. Final 90 seconds of the opening 40. Burton just trying to battle through everybody. Has to box out to keep possession. And you can see he is struggling to keep his footing amid this slippery grass. The rain, at least for now, has subsided, but I'm sure the residue is still playing tricks on both squads. Frederick clears that one back to Lidner. Lidner breaking through everybody. The official almost helping out Marlington there by being in the way. And here come the Dukes on the counter. Good amount of numbers getting forward now in relief. Nichols pokes it through. They're going to attack with 3. There is the header out of the box as we now have 1 minute left to play in the first half. Good poke by Kress. Wanted to guide that one away, but instead it's out of the facility and out for a corner. And if you're Marlington, you look at that clock, you take as much time as you need here without time wasting. You whip it in, and you try and get the absolute final word of this first half. You make it 3-0 here, Josh. The team talks completely change, just with 1 goal.
No, for sure. I mean, 2-0, if Louisville were to score 2-1, it's only it's only 1 goal difference, but you got to get back 2 more goals if you're up 3. So, I mean, simple math, but the momentum changes after 1 goal. You know what I mean?
But they do lose it in the middle of the pitch, and once again, there is the slip. Louisville still trying to get on the end of it. Surprised they didn't call that a foul on the follow-through. Good composure by Marlington, able to win it back. That is Miller. Final 10 seconds. It's time for a shot from anywhere for Louisville. Get on range and fire. They might not have enough to get a shot off. They won't. Tate able to win it back. And that is all she wrote for the opening 40 minutes here at the Marlington Soccer Complex. Courtesy of Maxwell Nichols and Tommy Miller, it is Marlington 2, Louisville 0, your halftime score here in Alliance. As both teams trade sides, we're going to toss it back up here. Josh, a lot to unpack for this first half. A lot of fouls, 3 yellow cards. But going back to what we've seen on the pitch, how are these foul calls really impacting the game, and is it too much?
I mean, towards the end of the half, there wasn't that many calls, but in the beginning, there were some, weird calls. Some things not seen. Some things were like taken like to like far. Like, you know what I mean? There were like calls that were just like unnecessary. So, and mostly impacted Louisville, I want to say, negatively. Marlington having 2 goals up right now, that's just got to be frustrating for Louisville, especially the unfair officiating.
I feel like it's been somewhat balanced, but I feel like the big calls going against Louisville came at the worst possible time for them. I feel like a case can be made that a couple of them shouldn't have been made. I feel like the 2 goals should have stood. That I agree with. I think by the end of the first half, they realized this is going to be physical, and they have to let the players play. And the moment that the players really started playing, we got balance once again. Marlington wasn't in a lopsided victory. Now it's more balanced, and we have 40 minutes to see what can possibly happen here. Obviously, Marlington still favored to win this one, but Louisville, a very gritty team, a lot of heart from the Leopards. They have 40 minutes to save their season, and with that in mind, we will toss things back down on the field as we step aside for a break. You are watching OHSAA District Semifinal Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Welcome back to the Marlington Soccer Complex. Your score at halftime, Marlington 2, Louisville 0, your score here on SmeeSports. What a first half, though. A very interesting affair so far. DC, I think you do have some comments to make here, so we're going to let you give some comments before you go back to producing.
Yeah, most definitely. I only have a few seconds to get on the mic and try to say what I want to say. Louisville is doing a really, really good job in trying to keep on the game pace and keep going at that rate. And now I'm just going to go ahead and hand the mic back off to Jazz Tovar. Thank you very much, Smee, for giving me the opportunity to come on and say a few words.
Nicely and eloquently put by DC in a very auctioneer-esque fashion. But Josh, your thoughts on the first half? Obviously, this is a very fun game for you, as down below you were chatting it up with some either former teammates or former coaches.
Former teammates. But yeah, I mean, Marlington 2-0, up 2-0, playing very well. They just can't drop off from this intensity.
And now the teams do switch sides. You look at those 18-yard boxes, specifically the 6-yard box. You just see the mud, and I'm sure that's not easy for either goalkeeper, Keister, or Swisher to play in. Just a big crater in the middle of the box, but 40 minutes left to go, and everything is pointing towards Marlington right now. Louisville, they need a couple of things to go their way. We talk about so many parallels from last year. The one that isn't the same, Louisville attacking on this goal in the second half, that's what they did the first half last year. Otherwise, outside of the score, everything else is the same, which is really weird to see that kind of deja vu of, okay, same teams, same place, same round. Here comes Riley Shannon, and that shot mistimed and out of play in front of Keister, and it'll be a goal kick for the Marlington, or rather the Louisville Leopards.
Not a bad idea taking it on the first time. Definitely could have took a touch. Didn't really have much pressure on him.
But we look at that first half, a lot of interesting calls, and going down below, we did hear some comments made by the players and the parents and all of that. It's a chippy game. It's the playoffs, and a chance here for Louisville early on in the second half, and very nearly back in it. But once again, that is why Marlington loves Brock Swisher so much. A good strike like that, there is never a guarantee it goes in. Once again, though, Josh, what a talent Brock Swisher is.
I mean, that was a really powerful shot going in the top right corner, and he just smacked it. That's it.
He didn't even look phased.
Mm-mm.
I mean, some goalkeepers in the face of a big shot like that, they get scared, but Brock Swisher, it's just an everyday occurrence. Ball played in, Swisher picks it up, and either way, I think he was offside, so it won't matter. That was interesting placement on that ball in, especially given that offside tag. Marlington trying to get inside the 18-yard box. It's Shannon. Keister, it slips past him. He tries to poke it out of the goal, but he cannot. It is in for Riley Shannon. That is goal number 3 for the Marlington Dukes. Untimely mistake for Louisville. And there is Riley Shannon finally on the score sheet. He has been so impactful tonight, and he finally gets his playoff goal. Just an unfortunate mistake there. Did everything he could to try and dig it out of the goal. But just like in the first half, even less time off the board. Just over 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 2 seconds in, Marlington has a goal. Once again, well-oiled machine. It doesn't matter what they do. They find a way to score. Is this what you expected?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think anybody did. And a quick ball right back into the action. It's Rodriguez whipping it in, and that one, or rather Maley whipping that one in, and it'll be wide, and a goal kick here for Brock Swisher. But that save really could have gone a different way if he allowed that one in. We go back to that 2-1 versus the actual 2-0, and now 3-0. At some point, if you're Louisville, you have to give all of your resources towards the attack, which is a tough call to make because one more goal conceded and you're basically out of this one. But this is the playoffs. Anything can happen. Still time on the clock, but this Marlington squad, truly impressive. Nichols trying to get on the end of this one, but a strong clearance puts it out of the way for a throw-in. And I think if you're the Dukes, you're really putting that first half really to rest of, okay, was the call made right on that first goal? Was it not? You have the other goals to make up for it either way. And that's what they do so well. Whenever there is any doubt on what they do, They go improve the opposites. Nichols on the near side. Still plenty of time left to go, though, for Louisville to get back in it. They just need to hedge their bets in the right manner. TJ Guest able to intercept and play it up inside the 18-yard box. Shannon, he will go down. The flag goes up, and the foul is on Shannon. And now play will be halted. This could potentially become a card.
I think he's just going to have a word.
And it looks like, at least right now, that is the parting line, and he will. And I think one of the students just yelled, "Can I have your autograph?" to, I think that was Nichols on the far side. Always up to no good or something along those lines. But you love to see the students here. You love to see both communities out here. We've said that a couple of times. That's the beauty of the playoffs. Everybody comes out. The whole city shows up, especially Louisville. I mean, you look at that community on a Friday night. If you're not at the football game, I don't know what the heck you're doing over there. The whole city comes out. Most people walk to the game just based on where the stadium is. Louisville's a very good community. Nothing but nice things to say about them. And they do travel pretty well, but this night, as things stand, it's Marlington's night. And here comes a substitution. Riley Shannon coming out. And now a free kick here for the Leopards. 35-38 as the clock is stopped. How do you get back in this game? That's the question here. And once again, Marlington able to head it away and now push it away with their feet. As Louisville resets, though, Josh, what needs to change for them?
Their lack of presence in the midfield is telling. I mean, they're making these passes and they're either too short or they're too soft or too heavy. And Marlington snatching it up. So fixing it up and making these quick 1-2 touch passes would be a great way to change the way the game's going.
And I feel like we've talked a lot about that midfield battle as it is just such an unsung part of the game. We are truly seeing its impact tonight. But for those just tuning in or for those who tuned out and tuned back in to begin the second half, Riley Shannon, 2 minutes, 2 seconds in, finds the back of the net. It's all Marlington up 3, but they are not done yet. They want more. And so far in the playoffs, I don't think they completed the Ravenna game as they did hit the goal limit. 13 goals in 2 games in the playoffs. And a chance for more. Keister able to scoop it up right in front of Nichols. And he will play this one out from the back. But one more goal here, make it 4-0. You're averaging 7 goals per game in the playoffs. Once again, they have allowed 9 this year. In one game, they scored more than they've allowed.
Crazy factoid.
It's a crazy fact. I mean, early on in the season, okay, that's one thing, but this many games in, now game 19, to have that be the parting line, I just don't get it. This team truly is impressive from top to bottom. And oh, by the way, they bring back their core next year. They lose a couple of really big impact seniors, but for the most part, they come back better next year. And I don't really even know how that is possible, just based on how this team plays. Good youth system in place, good everything. They know how to win. And I think Marlington, for the years that will follow this one, will have plenty of winning squads to really hoist up in the memory books later on. And we'll see if they can continue this tradition of winning, especially at home. Beautiful box out to win possession. Nichols trying to keep it in, and he will on the near flank. Marlington's offense getting back to the races. Played to the back post. Played right back in and right across the face of goal, but outside the 6-yard box. A dangerous ball. Nichols cutting it down low, boxing through. Here's the chance, deflected out of play, and it'll go for a corner kick. But very close to a penalty there. But good physicality. The correct amount of physicality by Louisville. And that's the key. You want to be very physical, but at the same time, you have to do it in the right manner. You can't just simply be physical and reckless for the sake of being physical and reckless, especially in the playoffs. Corner taken here and poked outside the 18-yard box, and the Leopards will try and build their counterattack. So many counters tonight, but not too many going in their favor. And there is another good example of good physicality by the Marlington Dukes, keeping that one away from the Leopards for a time. And now here they come again. Smith poking it inside the 18-yard box, keeping it close on the deflection. And Nichols will possess just outside his own dugout. Nichols' shot or really cross there, deflected right to the Leopards. It is Maley. And here they come once again, tripped up in the middle, poked through, but once again intercepted by the Dukes. That is Turner Hoffman, plenty of physicality, plenty of grit. And there he goes, changing fields, trying to pick up Coleman, the senior. That was one of the best solo runs of the day, just blocking the ball a couple of times, getting it down, and changing fields. That's what you want from your midfield, and that has been the X factor once again for Marlington tonight. That's the only difference between these two teams, the midfield battle. Obviously, clinicality in the goals and all that, but it all starts in the midfield. Nichols near side, and oh no. Carter Burton comes up lame. That's the hamstring. He's going to try and stay in this one, but I think the moment he stepped, I think he knew something happened there. He does appear to be okay, but that is a situation now to monitor. It is getting colder, and we'll see how he fares. That challenge, a good sign of things to come. Loose ball just outside the 18-yard box. Kress able to play it on back. Now a loose ball. Coleman trying to get on the end of it. Gets a strong shot through, but picked up by Keister. A good save once again by the junior shot stopper. And the Leopards will try again, but one right back. TJ Guest spinning out of a challenge. Nicely done by him and the Dukes. And they will do it again. Frederick playing it on back. Now Tate out of the wing, picking up Coleman. 31 minutes left to play in regulation. Marlington 3, Louisville 0, your score. And 3 different goal scorers at that. Coleman, beautiful turn on the far side. The student section is loving it. Louisville takes a deflection off of them. And it is going to go out just for a throw-in, very nearly a corner. But once again, the foot skills, impeccable. And you can see on your screen just the fans that are in attendance tonight. A lot of them, that far side just pretty much completely filled up. And the bleachers recently redone. Still some fresh wood over there, and that's what you want to see, just some minor upgrades made to keep this beautiful fixture, this unique fixture in the EBC alive and well. A lot of teams do have their own dedicated soccer fields, but to have it like this, kind of burrowed away from everything, that is a really cool fixture. And as you said, Josh, during the break, it's what they call home field advantage. That's why they don't play at the high school. You're not going to see a field like this. West Branch has one that's grass, but middle of the complex. Not like this, burrowed away behind an agricultural center. Corner taken by the Dukes. Piece lightly tapped by Smith, but not enough for any good direction. And here come the Louisville Leopards, maybe with their best chance of the day so far. Good ball up the near side. It's Brock Swisher time in defense. One-on-one chance for the Leopards, and it's saved by Brock Swisher. In the face of adversity, he holds up once, now twice, and there he is, officially ending the opportunity. Brock Swisher, a brick wall for the Marlington Dukes.
I mean, two fantastic saves, completely stopping the hopes of Louisville even getting a goal. That's just great play from Brock.
And unfazed, too. Louisville, they will have another opportunity, but played on back, mistapped on the far side. And Marlington will play it up the wing. Frederick trying to get on the end of it. Lindner also close as that one is played out for a throw-in. And Marlington, they wanted to go quick, but somebody getting the ball to the Dukes just played it too far out in front. But going back to that double save from Brock Swisher, how can you not be entertained by his ability in between the sticks? I mean, what a performance tonight.
Crucial saves.
And once we do announce our player of the game tonight, you could go for a goal scorer, but potentially, it goes to Brock Swisher. That's just how good he's played tonight. I mean, without him right now, this is 3-2. At least. And, oh, did I mention that he is coming back next year for his senior year? The dynasty continues. They want another EBC title and have a great chance of getting it next year. But the focus is still getting far in the tournament this year before next year, throwing everything, even the kitchen sink, at a potential Final Four appearance. I think next year's their year if they don't get it this time. But they still can. The talent is clearly here. Good, strong challenge on the far side. This team top to bottom once again, fearless. And you need that from every single guy. Whatever 11 play in a certain game, they always have the composure to win. And I feel like, Josh, from what you've seen, this team can pretty much play anybody and they'd still have the same results.
For sure.
And another card given here on the Leopards. And we will see who that is. I believe that is number 4, which would be Raiden Lindner.
For Louisville, Carter Busby.
And it does appear to be. And we do hear some interesting comments made down below. Hopefully that does not pick up on our end. Another nice set piece taken by the Dukes. Loose ball inside the box. Very nearly directed in for a goal. But Frederick just unable to get the better part of his shoe on it. If he scored that, put a bow on it. That would have been out of this world. But once again, as is the nature of the beast. And you look at Marlington seed, the 9 seed. How? I don't get either of these teams seed. Both should be higher. Good job heading that one outside the 18-yard box, and Marlington able to clear their lines again. But Marlington showing why they are one of the best teams in the state. Frederick played through and clearly offside. He knew it. You can just see that head nod the moment that he got played through. Now 26:30 left to play in regulation. For us here at SmeeSports, this is our final fall broadcast in the Stark County area. So we do thank Channel 1022 for all they have done for us this season. However, next Friday, Channel 1022 is back in action. For the first time in program history, Alliance Football has a home playoff game. And we will be doing that game. Join myself and Ramsey Reith on the call for that one next Friday on Halloween. As the Aviators, at least as of right now, take on the Benedictine Bengals. Could be Chardon, could be Kenston, could be Madison, could be a number of teams. But right now, predictions say it's going to be Benedictine. And on the far side, that'll go out for a Marlington throw and immediately taken. And there is the clearance. But here on SmeeSports, join us tomorrow at Brooklyn. 6 p.m. pregame, 7 p.m. kickoff. It's the Parma Holy War rounding out our fall sports coverage as Holy Name hosts Padua. Should be a fun one. Game number 13 for football for us. There's only 10 weeks, 13 games. That's really impressive from us, and I'm really happy that we got those games in. A lot of good games this year, a lot of blowouts, but one to really rule them all, really. Tate dribbling through the defense. Good low touch inside the box, but not enough to get it back to Iden. And there is the clearance by the Leopards. For a team up 3-0, Marlington is doing a great job keeping the pressure going while also having a really strong defense.
No, they're looking for another.
And you've played for this team. That's the Marlington way. And looking at how they played tonight, Josh, is this representative of what you guys started to build when you were in the program?
Fantastic question. I mean, playing at this field specifically, we're just so rooted in our traditions, and we've always playing 100%, playing with tenacity, playing with that kind of intensity against opponents because Marlington is such a small school. And so I think for the most part, they're really showing who we are.
And Brock shows who he is, traps that one, tells the Leopards, come here, and picks it up. And I think it's also awesome. You hear one of the coaches yell, Brock, and he's immediately there. I mean, are we talking about the Stark County Player of the Year? Brock Swisher. Could they give it to a goalkeeper?
They definitely could.
Or is it the Ballon d'Or, but you usually don't? It's a tough conversation, and I really think people would have to make that one. If we here at SmeeSports had our Player of the Season, oh yeah, it's Brock Swisher, no doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if he does win Player of the Year, though, in Stark County. At all. I mean, you talk about tenacity. You talk about everything that Marlington stands for. He embodies it as a goalkeeper. He's not the most vocal leader at times, but he doesn't need to be. When you have that imposing stature, that's just that imposing figure, that's all it takes. Some words exchanged on the far side as they wanted a foul called. In the end, Keister able to pick it up, and he will slip, kicking this one out. And there is the grass monster taking another victim. You go back to that home field advantage, Josh, with this grass. That's why you play on grass, and that's why you train with it. It truly is an advantage for the Marlington Dukes when at home. And oh, by the way, they can still play great on turf. if not better, because they play on grass all the time. It's easier to play on turf than grass. I mean, both of us have played on grass in soccer during our time. Mine was obviously a lower level in rec and some club soccer, but when you know how to play on grass, that really enhances your really foot skills. I'm going to say it's the best thing that really enhances it, but also just your technique.
No, for sure. So many earthy bumps in the grass. You always have to be on your toes. The only difference is the flatness and how the ball and the weight of the every single weight of the pass is so much different on the turf.
And I feel like it's very comparable to a baseball diamond being dirt in comparison to turf. If you can account for the bumps and just the hops on the dirt, you play even better on the smooth turf. Louisville trying to get a foul. There's just a slip, and it appears there is a player down. And I think they're going to have to stop this one, and they will. And we'll see who is down as we have 22-12 remaining in regulation. And there is the official stoppage, as that appears to be Carter Burton shaken up again. We did see him come up lame a little while ago with that hamstring. That's at least what it appeared to be from up here. I do still think this is partially impacted by the cold and just how much Carter Burton has had to do for the Louisville Leopards tonight. He has been everywhere, as you would expect. But looking at this just atmosphere outside of the chilly temperatures, truly a perfect night for soccer. This is the picturesque thing that you would want for a playoff game. You see this snapshot, that goes on the calendar for October. It's just that nice of a night here. You can feel that October-y chill in the air. But it is the playoffs, and a harsh reality will meet one of these teams in the next 20 minutes. One team is done for the year. The other continues their campaign, playing into a district championship game on Saturday. And they will have the winner of Hawken and Kent Roosevelt, the 4-13 battle. And I will say, looking at seeding, you can't read too much into it in high school. It's not like March Madness where, okay, McNeese is a 12 seed. They were great in their lower conference, but still, they shouldn't be the 5 seed as they did. You could see a 30 seed win some games in a tournament like this. And it's happened, especially non-conference teams who play a tough schedule and don't win too many games. But some good foot skills in the meantime by the Leopards. That was nicely done by Raiden Lindner, the senior. Still plenty of flair from the Leopards. And Josh, I don't think you're surprised that Louisville has not given up. And I don't think they will, even there's 1 minute left to go, down by 3. They will continue to fight.
No, of course. I mean, like we've been saying, it's the last. It could potentially be their last game.
And a foul called on the far side. Another free kick for Marlington. Yet to score on a set piece tonight. But this is where you change it. This is where you get the dagger with 20 minutes to go. And then from there, you just push to potentially somehow in some way get a playoff running clock. If they do that tonight, I'd be floored. I think everybody here would be floored. I think this in itself is a shock result just based on how dominant it has been. But I feel like a lot of that does fall on the goalkeeping of Brock Swisher. Beautiful ball whipped in, and it's off the bar. If that went in, Josh, hand them their flowers, send them off to Mayfield.
I thought it was going in.
If that went in, though, you would just hear the roar on the far side. And once again, that's on the far side. It's not like we're in a stadium where right down below us there are fans. No. Down below us we have some huddle cams, we have the benches, we have our cameraman, and Bryce is somewhere. And there he is, right by the Louisville dugout. We'll see what he's doing later on. But less than 20 minutes to go. Louisville applying pressure again. They got to get one. You get one, you're back in it. But if Marlington gets one more, it's done. And they won it here. It's Ramos on the far side. Cutting towards that 18-yard box, but dispossessed. But Marlington, they will take it. It's a corner. And I feel like a big difference is Marlington's talking. Anytime they talk, it's positive. Louisville, it's been a lot of back and forth.
Corner kick, Marlington.
But a lot of things to look at heading into that district championship game. For Marlington especially here. Whoever they play, you're not going to see your prototypical 9 seed. You're going to see a state contender. And I don't think it's really crazy to say, even if they lose in the district championship game, that Marlington has the pedigree and just the talent to go on and win a state title. They probably won't just based on the bracket this year, but they can make a regional final. I think that's a good spot for them to get to, potentially. And a lot of that's based on how they played tonight against a very good Louisville team. Keister able to pick that one up, and he will play it out from the back. But, Josh, what do you think the floor and ceiling of this team is?
Marlington?
Yes.
I mean, there's just this is just a completely dominant game at this point. I mean, there's nothing. They've been playing the same way they've been playing since the first half. From the first whistle to now, it's been the same, and it's been the same intensity. And each of the subs also come on with that same intensity. So I mean, I think they can make quite a far run at regionals for sure. States. I mean, that's crazy for me to say. I've never been that far, when I was playing. But it's fantastic to see how this program has grown.
And a lot of that does come down to the coaching of Clayton Calgill, who's been here for now over a decade. He has done a tremendous job with this program, and he deserves a lot of this credit, but he does not act like it. He knows that every game's a battle, and he has built so many great players over the year. And, I mean, even you, potentially you had the opportunity to play at Mount, but decided against it. But a lot of guys just potentially going on to the next level, and even the ones that don't, the talent's clearly there that they could have. And I feel like you would agree with that even from your time to now.
I would agree.
17 minutes left to play in regulation. Marlington up by 3. The last goal coming around 20 minutes ago at the beginning of the second half. Ball played in, a chance for the fourth. It's Frederick, and he gets it in right on cue. It is Andy Frederick, and that should be more than enough to see Marlington into the district championship game. You can't stop the beast. Truly impressive work tonight by the Marlington Dukes as we watch it back on the replay. It starts on the wing, nicely whipped in, right to Frederick. Beautiful curl, money. And here come the start the bus's chance. But you also have to give a lot of credit to Armani Stanilla on the far side. 1 assist on the year. He creates that opportunity. I don't think he gets the assist, but he was the catalyst on that far wing.
For sure. 4-0. Absolutely crazy game, especially for Marlington.
And 0-0 earlier on this season. Just over a month ago. What has changed? I don't know if we'll know. But these Marlington Dukes, they are doing their home crowd proud tonight. Carter Burton low driven in to Brock Swisher, and he will just simply fall on that one. In the meantime, a substitution brewing for the Dukes. It is Bowen Coman down below getting ready to come in. And I feel like more impressively for the Dukes, they're scoring from open field. They're not relying on set pieces. And it's 4 different guys who have scored. And oh, by the way, their top goal scorer, Aiden Tate, he has not scored. It's been everybody else. And there he is, just being a catalyst in the midfield. And he will draw a foul just outside the 18-yard box. And I think this is Aiden Tate range to take a shot.
I want to see a goal.
I think you know what Aiden Tate can do just based on what you've seen tonight. He got close on that one that hit the bar. This one's a little bit closer. You go back to that Alliance game before the end of the first half. Just on the opposite side, reflected, pretty much a diagonal to where he is right now. He scored the same exact goal. He's done it before this season. He's done it in the last month. This is Aiden Tate range. Can he do it for the Marlington Dukes one final time this season at home? And all eyes now reside on number 10. Aiden Tate ready to go. He takes the shot, and it's off the bar again. If this was a crossbar challenge, Aiden Tate would be the champion by far. And a strong challenge on the far side. Here comes the chippiness, and a player goes to the ground, and we will have a fight here. And yep, here it is. It has boiled over completely. Some students getting involved too. And now I think we might have a bench clearing, not clearing on this side, but on the far side of students having to leave. And that would be awful. And here comes the animosity, and here come the administrators. Marlington now being called away to try and separate from the Leopards. Well, Josh, welcome to SmeeSports.
I've never seen anything like that.
What an introduction to the channel for you.
I mean, it's always Louisville and Marlington always chip you, man, but that's just way too far. I mean, I don't know what we're doing.
I mean, there was a strong challenge on the far side,
Obviously.
but not necessary. We'll just play the game. We'll just finish this. Two great teams, and we can't take anything away from Louisville tonight, as we'll go back on camera for this one for a second. But I can't take anything away from their performance. Louisville is a greedy team. They're a good team, Josh, and we all know this. It's just not their night. Marlington doing more. But we don't want this game to be remembered for this. We want it to be remembered for the Marlington Dukes finding 4 different goal scorers, Brock Swisher being dominant, and Marlington taking the next step in their potential Final Four run. As this easily could be a Final Four run for them. Your thoughts on this game, though, outside of this, as we want to take any focus from this away to just talk about how Marlington has played. I mean, any thoughts?
I mean, 4-0, I mean, the score clearly tells you how they've been playing. They've been dominant the entire game. Getting into their heads, clearly. And keeping a clean sheet against big rival Louisville, I mean, it's amazing to see.
And it's still going on the far side. And I think they might just call the game, potentially. There's a chance of that here. What do you think, Josh?
Look, very disgusting tackle, in my opinion. And then an unnecessary shove. I mean, you're 4-0 up. You got to keep your head. You know what I mean? You got to brush that kind of stuff off.
It's awful. Let's talk some positives here, though, Josh. We've seen a lot of good games from the Mount Union Purple Raiders men's soccer team. Walk us through them.
Oh, man.
Let's talk some positives here.
Baldwin Wallace, the BW game last night, absolutely electric. I can't lie. The first half, in my opinion, pretty boring. But Purple Raiders showing their might. I mean, dominating the entire game. If we had possession stats, it would have been 60-40, so 65-35. So then second half, they scored. They put in 3.
And now they're giving a yellow card, and the parents still not happy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next broadcast here on SmeeSports is going to be tomorrow night at Brooklyn. It's going to be a fun one, and it's going to be some high school football. Holy Name Padua, the Parma Holy War. We're seeing a not-so-holy war right here, but the Parma Holy War tomorrow night, 6 p.m. pregame, 7 p.m. kickoff at Brooklyn. It should be a fun one. I'm excited for that one, Josh, as that'll round out our football coverage of the year before going back to Channel 1022, round 1 of the playoffs as they take on whoever they will play at home. Potentially Benedictine, as that is how things stand right now based on projections from Drew Pastor. What are your thoughts just on this overall season of fall as it is coming to a close? You've seen a couple of other games. What has been your favorite moment of fall for either Mount Union Broadcasting or with Channel 1022?
Oh, man, I think I'd have to say I wasn't broadcasting the game. I wasn't commentating, but I was taking pictures on the sideline. I want to talk about Amir Spratt.
What a guy.
He had the craziest run during Muskingum. He dummied the ball over his head, went all the way down the line, beat 3 players in the box for an easy tap in. He just played it. He got the assist off that. It was nuts. That's been my favorite moment so far.
And as well as the situation has subsided a little bit, massive shout out to Scott Stayer, the athletic director of Marlington High School, along with the police presence here. They were able to temper the situation very well. This is Scott's first year as the AD at Marlington, and I am really impressed with how he and everybody else has handled this situation. Not the first time broadcasting that I have seen something like this happen. They handled it very well, and they deserve all the credit here. From an administrative standpoint to just an overall standpoint of everything, Scott and everybody did a great job here, and I think you can agree with that easily.
Yeah.
So shout out to them as well. Thank you to Channel 1022 for allowing us to do this game today. We appreciate their support. Shout out to Chelsea and Logan for all they do. If you're watching on Channel 1022, we thank you for watching with us throughout the entire season. If you want us to do more games or specific games, let us know. Contact Chelsea, contact Logan, contact us, and we can try and make something happen. We want to cover Alliance and Marlington the best ways possible. So let us know, as you can see on your screen, how to contact us. Let us know how we can best cover games for you guys, as We want to do the best for this community. We want to keep growing that, and we want to make it where if you can't make it out to the game, you have a way to be involved with these teams and still engage, as you have tonight with both Marlington and Louisville as well. Every time we see Louisville, shout out Terry Horn, their athletic director, one of the best in the game. And as well, thanks to the Leopard Nation people for their stats and information ahead of tonight's game. They made our broadcast, at least from a commentary standpoint, a lot more smooth. So we do appreciate them. It's always good to see the Louisville Leopards, a very good team. And once again, Josh, as you've seen a lot, a very, very good, strong community. They back their own, and that really makes a good, small-ish town. And for Marlington as well, shout out to you. Thanks to Coach Calgill for all the information he has given us all season. He has been great with stats. Every single game, we have stats, we have information on the team. He helps us have a great broadcast, and we really do thank him. We enjoy covering Marlington soccer, and I think next year we're going to see them a lot more on the channel, and I am looking forward to that. They can become our workhorse outside of just football. We could do almost every home game for them, and I really wouldn't mind seeing that next year, as they are a very, very good team. But it does look like we're going to go back out here and finish this game, and that's what you want to see. I'm very happy we're finishing this game. Let these seniors go out on their own terms tonight, Josh, and I think you agree with that decision.
Yeah, for sure. Put whatever just happened behind us and just play soccer.
But once again, we would not even have this conversation without Scott Stayer and the police, who really helped temper the situation. You got to give them a shout out here. They did a great job. Both coaches bringing everybody back. That's really what you want to see. And I think my parting message for it is, let's go out here. Let's have fun in the final couple of minutes. Let's enjoy some good soccer on this Thursday night in the cold. Let's have a fun time, and let's celebrate these great athletes. They have put in the work since August. Let that be the parting line, not what just happened. And I think with there, we go to the Will Smith. We bring up the little thing. We flash the lights, and we go back to the action to forget about it. And here comes the ball played into the box. As we are back to the action, thankfully, 15 minutes left to play in regulation. And the Marlington Dukes will play it here. Once again, the Dukes up 4-0 now. A lot of goals tonight. You have Nichols, you have Frederick, you have Miller, and you also have Riley Shannon. 4 different goal scorers tonight, and that has been truly impressive for the Marlington Dukes. But once again, foot skills being shown on the near side by Raiden Lindner. He has been great with his feet tonight. Very composed and a big bright spot for the Louisville Leopards. And we will have the whistle blow here, as they took that one a little bit too quick. And they could even allow the substitution, which I think that's why they called it back. And they will wave them on here. And here we go. But I think, Josh, once again, we're all going to remember this game somehow. And also, from what I am hearing down below, I think Carter Burton has been kicked out of the game. That's what I've been told. I don't see him on the pitch. I don't think you see him. That's what we were being told down below, that he is out.
You got a red card, yeah.
This is from what Bryce is saying, and he already was, I think, on a yellow.
They're playing with 9 players right now.
So, yes.
Wait, no, I'm tripping. My fault, guys. They are playing with 10 people.
So there you go. That is. So the yellow card was for making contact with shoulder instead of lower half. Not going wide. So that is what we were being told down below from Bryce. He is our eyes and ears on the field. Shout out to him for all of his great work tonight and all season.
Kicked out of the game? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what the verbiage I was given. I assume red card, but he's definitely still in the game. I see him there. So I don't know. He said number 6, which is Carter Burton. And he's still on the pitch. So what number was mixed up?
They have all 11 people on the field.
So I don't know exactly what happened. We'll hopefully get better confirmation later, but it looks like we're just back to the action the way it should be. But a lot of confusion there. It's hard to get back to the focus, though. It really is.
Yeah, that was shocking, but...
And a loose ball for the Marlington Dukes. A chance for them to get a 5th here. Ball ricocheting inside the 18-yard box. And Stanilla takes out his own player, diving for that one. And he will huck it out of his 18-yard box. And the Leopards want to go with the counter. And here they come with 12:20 left to play in regulation. On the near side, it is Maley. Maley squares it in and nicely poked away by the Marlington Dukes. Right now, if you are Marlington, you're playing for the clean sheet. Get Brock one more clean sheet at home this season, and then head off to the district championship game on Saturday. Head held high, and everything going right, and just a random push off the ball, as that was Stanilla. And that contact came against Rodriguez, and this could easily be a yellow card. The referee will have a word or two with Stanilla, and it looks like nothing will happen. But a free kick here for the Leopards. 11:40 left to play in regulation. Ball poked in. It looked like a cross, but it's going to go wide of the goal. Maley tried directing it in, and Brock Swisher will have a goal kick. And hopefully, once we are done here, we will have a score update from the Hawken game as they play against Kent Roosevelt. My phone is currently being our Wi-Fi source off to the side, so no way to check Twitter or with my many friends in the media across the way. So hopefully we'll figure that out when this one is done, once I have access to Twitter and, well, more room to roam. We have the beautiful case with all the equipment next to us. DC doing a great job producing tonight. We're using the windows still to produce and call the game over here. J-Rod and overhead doing a great job. Sarah running our scoreboard. Bryce down below doing some photos and also being our eyes and ears, finding out any information we need. Also, two great students from Channel 1022 doing a great job with our sideline cams tonight. I believe Maven and Tristan are two students tonight, so shout out to them. One of them having to use an arm camera, the monopod not working. Doing a great job down below. I am really impressed with their camera work from what I've seen, and hopefully you at home have had a better experience because of it. I know, at least up here based on the replays, we have had it. And who would have thought, based on last year doing this game, it was me and I think one student here. Now there's how many of us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8 of us here. Who would have thought? And a lot of that, once again, goes back to Channel 1022. As they took a chance on me, they took a chance on us here at SmeeSports, and I'm very happy to be with them and doing all of these great games for Alliance and Marlington. It's been a fun ride this fall, but as I said last fall, there's more to come. There's better to come after this, and I can say the same thing 5,000 plus subscribers on from last fall. And here come the Louisville Leopards, now less than 10 minutes to play in regulation. Good cut on the far side, the foot skill still great, and the Duke's defense once again gets a stop, and it will be a corner, and a Duke does appear to be down. That could be a cramp, as the way he went down didn't look natural. And I think it might be worse. They're going to stop the clock, and we'll see. I don't know what exactly happened, but I don't think that fall looked necessarily natural. It looked like something happened. But here comes Coach Calgill and the trainers, and in the meantime, we'll take it back up here to us inside the press box. But I really feel like the last couple of minutes has been a back-and-forth affair. Neither side has really pressed too much since that major stoppage.
No, not at all. I think it just kind of shifted the emotions on the field after that.
And also, I'm getting word that it was Nichols who made the push initially on that play. We'll see what other information that I am getting. And that is about it for now, but a big injury here for Marlington. And we're going to see it again here. We're being shown by J-Rod, and there's that, and oh, yeah. Frederick threw a shoulder into the dude to defend him. Nichols came from behind and shoved, and that's then what happened. But back to this injury. You hate to see it in the cold right now, Josh. Just the nature of the beast. But once again, looking at our broadcast schedule, this is our final game on SmeeSports in the Stark County area for the fall. We will be on tomorrow, 6 p.m. pregame, 7 p.m. kickoff at Brooklyn. Holy Name Paddable Football to round out our football coverage. Then on next Friday, we will be at Karis Stadium, Channel 1022, live on the actual channel inside city limits, along with Boxcast for Alliance's first ever home playoff football game in program history. It'll be myself and Ramsey Reith on the call for that one. DC and Bryce will be on with pregame. Potentially DC on the sideline. If not, it would be Cooper Reed. We're still seeing how this is going to work out logistically. We're still trying to figure it out. Logan and I have talked about it. We want to go big for this broadcast. I want to do more stuff on the back end of it, so we're going to have some extra pieces thrown in. It's going to be a great night next Friday, so make sure you tune in on Boxcast or within city limits. Tune in on Channel 1022 via Spectrum. And then from there, you can watch a great historic moment for Alliance. They moved trick-or-treating for this game, so it does have to be important. And the injured player is walking off the field, and that is all we wanted to see from that. And I think, Josh, you would have to agree there.
Yeah, especially this late in the season, this late in the game, an injury would be so unfortunate.
And I think that was number 9, Tommy Miller. And even more so, this is where we go back to, okay, that fall, I thought it was a cramp, but then it looked worse.
Well,
I think that's just what it was.
I thought was he the one that challenged that cross?
He got in
he
the way of
slid,
it, so
yeah.
he could have easily just gotten the wind knocked out of him.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what happened.
For Marlington.
And a good little classy moment down below by Louisville. That was number 11 on their bench, Dom. A good little respect clap as he got off the field. That's what you want to see. There's still some good sportsmanship here. You had one moment, but there is still a lot of good character on both teams, and tonight should not change that for either squad at all. Ball played at the top of the box and taken in by the Leopards. But Marlington, they want to build that counter. They have done it so well tonight. But the Leopards able to keep possession for themselves on the near flank. Ball whipped in. Swisher, he will pick it up inside his own 6-yard box, and he will run the offense. Now a whistle blows.
The clock wasn't running.
And now the clock is running. So play has been halted to fix the clock. And my question is, okay, now they're going to stop running it. My question was if they had a actual clock on the field on the watch to see, okay, where does it have to be? I know for football they do have that where, okay, you got to reset it to this time, but I don't know if the technology is there for soccer yet. I know they do, at least at the pro level, have the watch for the timing of it, but here, I don't know. But nicely communicated by the refs. We were able to run off a little bit of clock and then get back to the action. And a beautiful throw in over the top. One of the better chances today. But Frederick back on defense. He clears this one away. And I think it speaks volumes that Marlington is sending a out-and-out striker back on defense, and he is still making things happen. They're all bought into the cause. They all want to win and get this clean sheet. A lot of good tonight from the Marlington Dukes. But this is going to go down as one of the longest games of the season. The time right now is 8:39. No more stoppages. We are done at around 8:47. So nearly 90 minutes. Or rather, over 90 minutes. I believe around 100 then, if I'm doing my math correctly there, maybe 110-ish. But really a long game. And I think a couple of those stoppages do aid to that. But still, a lot of interesting things. I would say more in favor of Marlington than we expected, I think. We thought Louisville was going to keep this one closer or maybe even get the opening goal, and then Marlington would have to play from behind. But the Dukes, within the opening 10 minutes, put all doubt away. And you said it perfectly in the pregame show. Just, if they score early, they're going to win. And, well, Josh, I think you know your alma mater soccer team, a team that you played for pretty well. I would hope you do. But I think you did prove that tonight. And the Marlington Dukes proved that they are a team to be cautious of in these playoffs. As things stand, 14 goals in 2 games, none allowed. And they want number 15 of the playoffs. Ball squared in, but nicely picked up by Keister. They're averaging 7 goals per game in the playoffs. They've scored 14 goals, 5 more than they have allowed all season. These stats just don't feel real. They feel like video game numbers, and there is the reason why they are video game numbers once again on display. It's Brock Swisher. And I know we talk a lot about Brock Swisher being just a great goalkeeper, but he truly is, and it can't be understated. And I don't even know if you gave him the highest praise that he could even become overrated, which I don't even know if that's possible. He is that talented, and as a former goalkeeper, yes, I'm bringing that out here. He has every little piece of technicality needed to be a true sweeper, a true stay-at-home in the box goalkeeper, and even a potential outfielder if needed. And here come a couple of changes for Marlington along with Louisville. Final 6 minutes and 20 seconds, and this could be about the time that we see all the seniors come in. Which I think right now, if you're Louisville, you gave your seniors one final run out. It just depends at what point do you do it. Most likely this game is done, and I really can say that with confidence. Down 4, 6 minutes to go. Obviously not impossible, but Marlington's defense, they have been impeccable tonight. And they have been hard to break down all season. And they will enter game number 20. Even if they allow one in game number 20, still allowing a goal every other game. And once again, looking at the numbers, Marlington would improve to 14-1-4 on the year. Louisville would end their campaign 8-8-2. And this would only be their second loss on the road this season. And I am mistaken, Marlington's loss is at home, so they would end the year at home 7-1-3. So impressive statistics from both teams all the way around. Louisville getting 75% of their wins on the road. You usually don't see that happen. The only comparison right now in pro sports is the Seattle Seahawks. A lot of wins on the road, but rarely at home. But they weren't able to change that this weekend. But still, it's not usually what you see. It's usually the other way around. And from what we are now hearing, that stoppage for injury, we'll get back to that in a second. Ball ricocheting on the shot, and there's the clearance. The foot got stuck. It was assessed for a high ankle sprain. So that does make sense based on the way that he did go down. But it's a good sign that he was able to exit the field of play, on his own power. That's what you wanted to see from that situation, and he was able to do so. Down to the final 4 minutes and 30 seconds of regulation. Lindner, he will take the shot from range. Swisher springs into action, and once again, he will make the stop. And going back to the claim, Shiesty Swisher, 1-0.
Like I said, he's not going to wash that after tonight.
That is just the most obscure stat possible, but it's awesome. That's what we live for. And a chance for Mambo number 5 for the Marlington Dukes. It's Danilo outside the 18-yard box. Slips that one inside. Good movement by Marlington. And a chance to poke it out to the wing, but just now playing the possession game in the final 4 minutes. No surprise there. Pitts near side, slipping through. He will go to the ground, and he will draw the foul, and it'll be a free kick. And I don't think this is Identate range to take a shot, but if he's on the pitch, he could take it. But I think this is where you develop a set piece. You try and score from it. Have that in your back locker for the district championship game. And if you do, you walk out of here a very, very happy home team and a very, very happy 9 seed. And here comes the ball. And I would say further back than I would have anticipated it, as it is outside the 18-yard box from Hoffman. Ball right back into the mix. A strong boot. And it is scooped up by Keister. And overall in history, this will be win number 22 for the Marlington Dukes over Louisville. And that'll take them to 3-2-2 since COVID against them. Burton, he will take the shot, and saved again by Brock Swisher. Brock has had their number tonight. No other way to put it. But 22-3-6 against a team is truly tremendous. And 2 of those wins have come in the last 5 seasons. And I believe in the playoffs at home, you were on the back end of it. Yeah, I did my research.
Oh, my goodness.
You made it nearly the whole 80 without that game being brought up. A COVID game played at the high school field.
Don't even remind me, man.
I just did. So, unfortunately, that is not going to be possible. It's on the near side. Tripped up there by number 2, Rodriguez.
Oh, my goodness.
And yet another shove, and we will have a free kick as we are nearing the, so to speak, 2-minute warning. Once this game is done, we will have our player of the game announcements. I think I have my guy in mind. We'll quickly convene, but I think it is a open and shut case here. And there is the 2-minute warning announced. Marlington, back-to-back years in the district championship game. Last year was Lake Catholic, a game that was always going to be tough. This year, an easier opponent, but Marlington a better team in general than then. Loose ball inside the box, a chance for one more, and there is the clearance, nicely done by Lindner, and it'll roll out of play for a goal kick. But moving up to Division III, you avoid Lake Catholic as they are dominant in fall sports. Football, a chance to win a state title. Soccer, a chance to win a state title. And oh, by the way, their volleyball team won a state title, I believe, last year, or at least got close. You don't want to see the Cougars. You never want to see them in the playoffs. And Marlington does get to avoid them. It's either going to be a Rider or a Hawk, I believe. So the battle of land versus air, if you will. Good ball poked inside the 18-yard box, but an even better clearance as that one rolls out of play for a throw-in. And we are at the final 60 seconds of this district semifinal. Once again, congratulations to Marlington. What a performance tonight. Louisville as well, congratulations on a great season. 8-8-2. And a big shout out to Carter Burton, a true program legend. He represented the Leopards very well tonight. One last chance for the Dukes as it curls wide. But back to Carter Burton. What a career for him. he's going to be remembered, and I'm not surprised to see that be the case. And I kind of think in the next couple of years when Coach Coma was teaching the next generation of Leopards, he's going to say, be like number 6. Be like Carter Burton. And I feel like that is a guy that you really cherish in a program. Every program has that guy, and Carter Burton is that for the Leopards. And this is going to be the curtain call for him along with the rest of the seniors in 10 seconds. Marlington, they will dance on 14-1-4 on the year and district championship bound. You hear the countdown on the far side, and that is full time. Your final at the Marlington Soccer Complex. Marlington 4, Louisville 0. And the Dukes, they are happy with this one. They wanted this. This was the end goal. A game over a month ago that was a draw has been turned into a 4-goal victory with 4 different goal scorers. We'll take it back upside here in the press box. What a win tonight for the Marlington Dukes. You look at those goal scorers. You have Shannon, you have Miller, you have Nichols, and you have Andrew Frederick. And here comes Sweet Caroline, a true tradition of the Marlington Dukes. I'm sure that was something they did during your time as well. But let's talk about player of the game, as I believe your player of the game tonight. It has to go to one player and one player only. Number 1 by his jersey and number 1 by our standards. It's Brock Swisher.
For sure. 100%. Clean sheet against Louisville.
Twice this season.
Twice this season in the district semis. I mean, that's just, you love to see it.
Dare we count the clean sheets now? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now today, 12 clean sheets in 19 games. Have you seen a goalkeeper like this at the high school level?
No, I have not.
He is truly a unicorn player, and I'm sure you've had players that have really propelled programs, but to have a guy like Brock Swisher, how much easier does that make the job of the rest of the 10 on the pitch?
Dude, it keeps your mind at rest, especially when you know your keeper has hands and can move from post to post and covering that goal. Having that wall back there is certainly a relief.
But I think that wraps things up for us on Marlington's side. But once again, let's talk about Carter Burton one last time and the rest of those seniors. CB, what a guy. What a player. Top talent for Louisville. You obviously know that talent. You feel for him and the rest of the guys. But I feel like if he wanted to, he has a career at the collegiate level and easily fits the mold of even a Mount Union. If he comes to play for Krems next year, we will be there. And I think you would agree with that completely. I mean,
I'll be graduated, but
he'll come back. He'll come back to see that.
No, Carter Burton. Fun factoid: my dad used to coach him. He used to play with my sister. But I mean, what a fantastic player. I mean, he grew up playing the sport, went into club level, and has absolutely made a name for himself at Louisville, in the area for sure. He's a force to be reckoned with. You said 15 goals this season, so I mean, what a great season from him. Senior season, unfortunate end for him though.
And I think, Josh, at least ceremoniously, we tip our cap to number 6. Congratulations on a great career at Louisville, young man. And there's a bright future ahead for you, whether it be playing the game or coaching. I think he has the intangibles to really be a threat in this sport for as long as he wants to be. Obviously, only a couple of extra years on the pitch, but coaching, I wouldn't be surprised if you look 20 years from now and you see Coach Carter Burton somewhere winning some big games at the high school level or potentially even the collegiate level. He knows the game in and out. He knows how to be a threat, and he knows how to just be the it factor guy. But to stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram, SmeeFist2024 on Twitter, and SmeeSports LLC on Facebook and LinkedIn. As well, go down below and subscribe. There is no added cost, but it greatly helps out all that we do. DC is going to put up our information. There we go. That's why we built out this title card. It saves me from going into some redundant habits, as we only have to say it so many different times. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow night at Brooklyn, 6 p.m. pregame, 7 p.m. kickoff, live at Jerry Younger Field. It's the Parma Holy War, game 13 of 13 for us during the football season, as Holy Name takes on Padua Franciscan. That'll be a great way to round out our coverage of fall sports as well. Next Friday on Channel 1022, where this game will re-air in the next couple of days, you will get to see a very good and historic game on the channel. For the first time in program history, Alliance Boys Soccer is hosting a playoff game, or rather, Boys Football, is hosting a playoff game. And most likely, I believe it is going to be against the Benedictine Bengals as things stand right now. It could flip to somebody else, but right now, Alliance and Benny is the game on Halloween. So tune in for a spooky broadcast as we will have a lot of people on the pregame panel. Myself and Ramsey Reith on the call. Should be a very fun night and a very good way to round out the month of October and a great way to celebrate the Alliance Aviators. But that'll do it for us here at Marlington. Your final, the Dukes 4, Louisville 0, Marlington back into a district championship game as they will take on the Hawken Hawks or the Kent Roosevelt Riders. For Josh Tovar, I am Nathan Smee saying so long from Alliance, Ohio, and we will see you again next time. This has been OHSAA District Semifinal Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you again next time.